This is an example of how to solve question 3 in the application problems for chapter 1. This is how the problem reads. Solve the problem below by hand and show your work in the worksheet A3. Following are the speeds of 20 cars clocked by the radar on a particular road in a 35 mile per hour zone on a particular afternoon. And then we have a list of scores. We're asked to decide whether a frequency table or a grouped frequency table would be appropriate. Make whichever frequency table is appropriate for the data. Make a histogram. Name the histogram using chart A3 and a clear descriptive title. Take a picture of your work and paste it into worksheet A. In the answer box below, describe the histogram in words, including skew, symmetry, and kurtosis. So let's go ahead and I have already copied this question out and put it into my whiteboard. You don't need to copy it down unless it's helpful to you. So let's move along and work on solving this problem. So here we have it written out. So the first thing that we need to do is identify the minimum and maximum values. So let's go ahead here and put this on the side, the minimum and the maximum. And if I scan this with my eyes, I can see that 30 looks pretty low, 30, another one, 31. Oh, here's a 20. That is probably the lowest. So the minimum is 20. And the maximum, I think it's going to be this 52. Let's see. Yep, I don't see anything higher than 52. And so it looks like we have a range of about 32. So I think that that is too many for a simple frequency table. So I think that I will decide that we need to make a grouped frequency table. And let me just do that a little bit differently here so I spell it correctly. And we will make a grouped frequency table. So what size intervals should we make? Well, we know that we need between 5 and 15 equally spaced intervals, and we have 32 values. And so I think we could, let's see, we have 20, we actually have 33 values. So I think I'm going to make mine ranging from 20 up to 35 and go with seven groupings with 5 in each category. I think that sounds good. So I will go like this. 20, let me give a heading to we should always head columns whenever we use them. So I'll put my headings in black. And I'm going to start by writing the values. And the first value is going to be 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45 to 49, and 50 to 54. And that's nice. We have 7 values. We'll get some level of detail in there without being too excessive. I'm going to make a separate column right here for tally marks, and then I'll put our actual data in blue. So let's continue on to indicate where each of these will go. I'll cross them off as I go. So the 30 is going to go here, 36, 42, 36, 30, 52, 36, 34, 36, 33, 30, lots of law-abiding citizens here, 32, 36, 32, 37, 34, 36, 31, 35, 20, I wonder if they had car trouble, 24, 46, 23, and 31. And so now I can count these up and write our frequencies. And so in 2024, we have 3, 0, and 25 to 29, 10, 8, 1, 1, and 1. And we can calculate the percents. By taking each frequency and dividing by the total. Let's make sure of our total here. So we have 13 plus 8 is 21, 22, 23, 24. Is that right? 13 plus 8. Yeah, so we don't ever have quite what I say we do. So we have 24. And so 3 divided by 24, 0, 10 divided by 24, 8 divided by 24, 1 divided by 24, 1 divided by 24, 1 divided by 24. And in this case, we will do the calculations with the calculator because we're not working in Excel. And let's figure out 1 divided by 24. And we get 4.16. Equals 4.2%. I'll round up. 4.2%, 4.2%, and 0%. We can solve that one. And we can solve this one by understanding that this is 42%. Let's continue on and get our last ones, the 8 divided by 24 and the 3 divided by 24. So equals 8 divided by 24. And we get 0.333. And I'll just remember that while I go 3 divided by 24. And we get 0.125. So equals 12.5% and 33.3%. And this will add up to approximately 100. And now we're ready to do our histogram. So we'll make our y-axis and our x-axis fairly equal in size. Condense it just a little bit here. We'll write our values down below. So we have 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45 to 49, and 50 to 54. Going up the side, we can see that our greatest frequency is 10, and our least frequency is 0. So 0 will be at the bottom. We'll put 1 here. So put 5 right about here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we just chart our work. So 20 to 24, we had 3. 1, 2, 3. 25 to 29, we had 0. 30 to 34, we had 10 all the way up to the top. 35 to 39, we had 8 I'll make sure that they're touching because it's a histogram. 40 to 44, we had 1. 45 to 49, 1. And 50 to 54, 1. If we wish to, we can color these in. And always using the same color, or if it's a design like this, the same design, because it's indicating that this is continuous data. So we want the bars to touch unless there's a 0 gap like we have in here. And then we're asked to draw the shape of the data. So we draw this little line that covers most of the points. And I think that we can safely say here 3 things. We can say that it's skewed. We might, I don't know if we would say kurtotic on this because I'm not seeing really heavy tails. So I don't think we have kurtosis. We have unimodal. And we'd say this is skewed right. And that's probably enough to say about this. That's what we'll write in the answer box. And in the meantime, the last thing we have to do is name our chart. So we'll name it chart A3, and we'll call it miles per hour driven by cars in a 35 mile per hour zone. And now I'm going to take a picture of this. I'll use my snipping tool in this program, and I'll go ahead and grab all of this. And this is what I will paste in my spreadsheet. Once it clicks like that, it's ready. Now I'm going to open up my spreadsheet, and let's click on it, create a sheet that says A3. Enter, and we can paste our data right in here. That one is set now. And then we save it, and then we can write our answer in the answer box. And that would look something like this. As soon as we pull it up here, we will see it. And here's the problem. And so in the answer box, to address that last requirement, as soon as I get that over to the screen, I'll show you. We will be, there it is. And we can simply write this distribution, the distribution, let's label it, the distribution represented by chart A3 showed positive, right-tailed skew, right-tailed skew, and unimodality. And that would suffice. And that's the end of that problem.